Hello again, friends. Welcome to the Kelly Show. This is my afternoon edition. Now, I'm not going to trouble everyone with 3 shows a day. That's too much for you. That's too much for me. I'm going to be doing 2 shows a day. One in the morning and one in late afternoon. My morning show is going to be news, current events, and politics. My late afternoon show is going to be social issues, religious issues, cooking, that kind of stuff. I'm bringing back, hey, Grandpa, what's for dinner? I'm going to be telling you what I'm having for dinner. You might not care. Some of y'all do. But there was just so much going on with the election Tuesday and with the debate last night. I just couldn't sit here and babble on for 12 minutes and bore y'all to tears. So you're getting 2 5 to 6 minute segments. Now, if you were flying over Michigan last night and you looked down, you saw the cuckoo's nest, okay? And if that offends anyone, I'm sorry, but there's just a couple of nuts on that dais there. Now, like I said, I'm going to come to the middle, so I wanted to get everyone's outlook on what happened last night. So, I had me a cup of chamomile catnip tea with some honey, an extra nerve pill, smoked an extra cigarette, and then I ventured into the abyss. I went to Fox News. It was scary, but not as scary as I thought it was going to be. So here's how I see things, with the way things went last night, with what I have found from all the pundits, from every network, every off-the-wall little site you can find. Here is the way I look at it. Rick Santorum. Stop wasting money. You're not going to get it. You're just there to make sure that there's an even number of daises. Okay, yes, I've had to make notes because I don't want to say anything incorrectly. Okay, Michelle Bachmann. What a nut. If people don't know what $10 is, well, it's 2 Happy Meals. And then, earlier in the week, she quotes an Old Testament passage where, if you don't work, you don't eat. Goodness, that's Christian love. And let's not forget her marching into battle theme. Obamacare is going to destroy the world. Newt Gingrich. He's the kind of sort of intellectual of the group. And he has stayed on his message. He hasn't veered too much off his message. And that message being, the liberal left-wing Main Street media is lynching the GOP. But while the camera's on me, be sure to buy my book and buy my wife's book for children. It's working. We're talking about him. Okay, Ron Paul. End Pell Grants. Let the housing market completely crash. Nothing's too big to fail. And if you don't have health insurance, die. Mitt Romney. He's what I call the tofu candidate. Or if you don't like tofu or you're not familiar with it, let's call him the cream cheese candidate. Those 2 things absorb the flavor that you put in them. So if you want Vietnamese tofu and you marinate it and stuff it with lemongrass and garlic and hot peppers and then steam it, you have Vietnamese tofu. If you want South Korean barbecued tofu, that's what you get. Whatever Mitt Romney needs to be, he will be. Don't trust that. Okay, Herman Cain. 999. For every 1 woman that said I sexually harassed them, it sounds more like sexual assault to me, there's 1,000 I didn't. 999. Duh. China's nuclear? 999. The Democratic press is lynching me like Supreme Court Justice Thomas. 999. Rick Perry. I'm not going to run him over the coals. I'm just going to say one thing. Whoops! Now we're going to get to my favorite. The candidate on the GOP side that I think is the only viable candidate that y'all have, and that's John Huntsman. Okay? He comes from a very successful family business. You know, you don't have millionaires and billionaires in your family business if it's not friggin' successful. You were a 2-term governor of the state of Utah, and during those 2 terms you had the lowest unemployment rate of that state's history, the lowest taxes of that state's history, the most people insured in that state's history. He's been the ambassador to Singapore. He's been the ambassador to China. He speaks Mandarin, for God's sakes. He's worked under 4 presidents. Not all of them were Republican. He worked for Obama. He worked for Clinton. Okay? He knows how to work with the other side. And I'm going, yeah, you tell him. I'm agreeing with a lot that you have to say. I know we need to change the tax code. I know there's so many things that you're saying that I'm believing, and then he gets on one of my pet projects, which I really think that all of our medical records should be electronic, and he's talking about that. I'm like, you tell him, John, you tell him. And he says, that will make a patient's health care more efficacious. I'm like, did he just say efficacious? For the ones that don't know what that means, they're going to be lost. And for the ones that know what it means, are going to be thinking, oh, here's one of these intellectual elitists like Barack Obama. Stop using words like that, John Huntsman, and win in New Hampshire. Okay, I'm signing off. I'm running long. I know, but I had to get the debates taken care of. We're going to calm down starting tomorrow. Be sure to check out my late afternoon show. Well, it's going to be early evening, where we're going to be talking about a great thing that the United Church of Christ is doing. And we're going to be talking about what I'm filling my belly with this evening. Bye.